Good morning. This is Wilson Moreno. We are now transmitting the last news related with Hurricane Matthew. Colleagues from IT say that the death tolls has increased to more than 250 of casualties. This hurricane has reached the speed of 270 kilometers per hour on its winds. Experts say this hurricane would dissipate over the 10 first days of October. We're now going with the analysis of an expert meteorologist, Adriana Mesa. Go ahead, Adriana.
Good morning, Wilson. A hurricane is a mix of natural events such as torrential rains, strong winds, and storms. A hurricane begins in the middle of the sea and finishes in a coastal zone in a country. Let's remember two important hurricanes that occurred in 2005. These hurricanes were Katrina and Rita, which hit the Gulf of Mexico in a very short time. In this time, our case is Hurricane Matthew that will pass by Venezuela, Colombia, Haiti, Cuba, and it will finish in the United States. For people who live in these coastal zones, it is important that take notes about some recommendations. First of all, it is essential that people evacuate these coastal zones to safety places like a shelter. If people couldn't evacuate, it's necessary that buy non-perishable food, a radio with a spare of batteries, a flashlight that is necessary to ensure the windows and the doors, and stay at home until the hurricane finish. When the hurricane finish, it's probable that the flood occurs, and for this reason people will have to evacuate the zone. And that's it. I hope that this recommendation will be useful to people who live in these places. Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you very much, Adriana. Now we have Camila, a victim of the disaster due to Matthew hurricane. Go ahead, Camila.
Hello, my name is Camila Salamanca. I will talk about for my experiences about the hurricane. I had a terrible experiences in other hurricane because the first day I didn't know of my family since in the city didn't have a power option and my cell phone didn't work. Fortunately, I listened in the radio different recommendation that emergency. For example, the radio said to have a first aid kit and flashlight. The radio said to have a plan with their family, and the radio said to evacuate to shelter place. But for that situation was very complicated with evacuate with my family. 2 days later, I encountered my family and with my family, and we can evacuate to another city where we call a shelter. When the emergency was over, we returned to my home, and I didn't recognize anything because the hurricane was tremendous and destroyed the home. The belongings were lost, and people didn't have a food.
Thank you, Camila. And now I give you some additional recommendations. Many experts say to fill your cat with gas as soon as possible. Bring your furniture inside of your house. Buy extra batteries for flashlights and portable radios. And listen carefully to the instructions from the radio. That's all for this moment. I'll see you on the next opportunity. Thank you.